This feels very, very hot.
Thank you, Starbucks. This is a nice hot one today.
And no spillages.
No spillages.
No.
There we are. We are live. We were just saying, if you guys just caught us, we were just cheers. We were just complimenting Starbucks on the live. No spillages, and it's very, very hot. Thank you very, very much.
I got 2 drinks.
Oh, did you know?
This one got a bit. So I asked for cream, but I think the way he was jolting it about, because you can see all the thing at the top, might have overtaken the cream, unfortunately.
So just to let you guys know, what we tend to do, partly because we're lazy, but also because we're always rushed for the live, is we get the drinks delivered to our house. So what tends to happen is, as the driver is driving, obviously the whole thing gets shaken up like a cocktail. So some of them will actually end up or shaken, not stirred. But there we are. What can we do? It's Friday. We're happy we've got our drinks. I hope you guys have got your drinks with you. You can join us and enjoy the live.
I have got a venti. I'm sorry, not a venti, a tall soya chai latte.
And I have got a chai latte as well. I'm really into this chai. I'm drinking it like water.
It's you've got oat milk in yours.
It's terrible. I drink it like water.
So there is a specific reason why we are late today.
Alicia, hello.
Hey, Alicia.
Alicia will know why we're late, but Kelly will explain.
So basically, my mum's got an event tomorrow, and she's asked me to bake some cupcakes. And she asked me to bake 100 cupcakes. And I said, there's no way I'm going to be baking 100 cupcakes. So I'm just going to see how I go and how many I get done. And I have to top them as well. So at the moment, I have baked. So yeah, I've baked 36 cupcakes so far. And there's another 12 in the oven as we speak. So I baked. So what have I baked?
Cakes, says Alicia. So funny enough, when I was at work, I was on a team call. Now, poor Kelly, when my work colleagues heard what you're doing, they insist now, next time I go into work, that you bake a batch and bring them in.
Well, not me bring them in, you bring them in.
Well, I bring them in, yeah. It'd be a bit weird you bringing in.
So I have done pineapple and coconut cupcakes, and I've just done chocolate cherry cupcakes, and I'm just doing apricot chocolate cupcakes, and I have a few more cupcakes to do. So yeah. So I'm going to be doing cupcakes all evening.
Hello, Richard. And Richard said, oh my God, why is it warm again inside? Do you know what? Funny you should say that, Richard. I've just opened my window. Oh,
that's my alarm. You won't check the cupcake.
I'll stay in frame. So for those of you who just missed it, Kelly's baking at the moment for an event that we're doing tomorrow. Hence
not we're doing, my mum's doing.
Well, her mum's doing tomorrow. So hence we're bringing all the cupcakes. And it is, I've just opened the window, like you said, because it is so warm in here. I thought, is it me? Is it just getting warm again? So yeah, it is warm again. But I hope, and Richard, I haven't had a chance to see it yet. You premiered your new video at 5 today. No dinner yet, but eating black pudding. Is that it? Straight black pudding. Are you doing it in like a baguette, or are you just having it straight black pudding? That's pretty hardcore if you are. But yeah, so going back to your video, we haven't had a chance to catch up on it yet. I've literally just finished work. So I will try and premiere watch your new video later on. I'm looking forward to it as well. I'm very much looking forward to your video on the Isle of Wight, especially this new find of donuts. We, as you know, Kelly and I love our donuts, so we're always looking for a really good place to do donuts, partly so we can film it and send it to you guys, but also so you can see all our new little cake finds are in and around London. So yeah, I shall definitely be looking forward to that. This weekend, we've also got a little bit of planning. Donuts. Alicia, we're going to show you some really, really good ones. Plus, do you guys ever get that situation when sometimes you find a coat or like a jacket or something, and in there you find some money? You think, oh, I forgot I had that. Well, I had something almost as good. So I was cleaning out my wallet yesterday, one of the wallets I had before, and I found a little card. Oh, you're eating Chinese. What are you having? So I found a little card from Donut Time, and I didn't realize I got enough stamps for a free donut. So I'm looking forward to doing that. That's as good as money. That's as good as money.
As good as what, £4 or £5?
Exactly.
Yeah.
we're just talking about the donuts thing as well. So Alicia's eating Chinese. I just asked her what Chinese she's
Ooh,
having.
I'm going to sit at the side only
Yeah,
because
you got to go.
I've set that. So my cupcakes are almost done. So normally the cupcakes take about 25 minutes, but my mum's oven is better because hers is a gas oven.
Yeah, yeah.
And ours is electric.
Yeah.
So I find that to bake cakes is better in a gas oven. It's just not as good in an electric oven.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. So they're almost done. So I put them in for 15 minutes just so that I could check on them. And they're almost done. So I've only put them in for another 5 minutes. And these are apricot ones. So later on, so basically I've done, how many cupcakes have I done? 48. Yeah, this will be 48 cupcakes. So what I'll do is I'll actually top them. So I'll do a topping for the pineapple and coconut, and it will be a pineapple and coconut cream cheese frosting that will go on the top. And then for the cherry, it will be like a cherry chocolate sort of ganache that will go on the top, and then I'll put a little cherry on there as well. And then for the apricot one, I will do an apricot ganache and put that on top of the apricot ones.
Lovely.
So
that sounds really, really good. Alicia said chow mein, chicken in black bean sauce, crispy seaweed, prawn balls, and peppered prawns. Sounds amazing. I love the pepper prawns thing.
Yeah, you do.
Richard's, sorry, go on.
Go on. No, I need to bake more cupcakes as well, but different flavours.
The original pepper prawns, she said, the salt and the chili prawns. Richard said, problem with the Sandown pear donuts recipe is secretly guarded and only on that pear. Been 4 years without them. Oh, wow. So when you say 4 years without them, does that they've not been around for 4 years, or does that mean you haven't had a chance to have them for 4 years? And I know what you mean. Do you know what? We found that with lockdown. So Kelly and I, as you know, we haven't been away properly since 2019. And you'll notice that from our videos, because we went, I think the last video we did holiday-wise was Lanzarote. Although we've done staycations, we've not been able to get away abroad. So I know what you mean about missing something. There's plenty of things in the United States.
Yeah, plenty that we miss. Yeah. And I think, just to let you know as well, before I forget, we won't be here on Tuesday. We will be here on Friday. But I've got a couple of things to do on the Tuesday, so we won't be here on the Tuesday, but we will be here on the Friday.
Yes, but so we're looking forward to seeing you guys back on Friday. We need to do a little bit more catch-up filming as well.
Yeah.
There's a few bits and bobs we need to do, but we will be back on the Friday.
On the Friday. We are doing we are going to go out for the day, so I'm hoping we will be back in time.
Yeah.
If we're not back
this
in
is Friday,
time,
by the way.
this Friday. If we're not back in time for 6, we may do it later. But I hope that we're back.
We will always try. Yeah, we love doing the live.
Yeah, we do.
As you know, we love talking to you guys, so we will try and be back for the live when we can.
Definitely.
Richard said, "I've not been there for 4 years." Oh, I see. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought they'd been there, but you just haven't been there. Right. And the thing is, Sandown Pear Donuts are spring and summer only. The queue is very long when they first open. I can imagine that first day of opening, people won't have had them for such a long time.
Yeah, I think especially when something is popular. There used to be in St John Street, there used to be a place called the Larder, which is where I told you that I met not John Turode, but what's the other guy?
Greg, his partner.
Whatever, whatever his name is, the bald
Greg
guy.
Wallace. Greg Wallace.
Yeah. And he used to go to the Larder as well. It was a lovely little restaurant. And next to the Larder, they used to have this sandwich shop, and there was always queues in this sandwich shop. And what would be brilliant is you could get pizza for £3 and you could get fries for £3. £6 for lunch. Unheard of in London. Unheard of in London. So you could, I mean, for like even the meal deals or something like that is great. Oh,
there we are.
There's the alarm. I think the cakes are done.
There we go. So the cakes are now done. Kelly's off to go get them. I wanted to show you guys. I'm going to try and Google as I talk. I've been, as you know, I go around. We're always trying to do research to find new places that we can film and then show you guys basically where we've been. So I have found somewhere that does Britain's largest donut, and it's massive. It's thousands of calories, as you can imagine. but I'm just trying to get there so I can buy it. I don't know if we'll be able to eat it, but here we go, donut. But I really want to show you how it looks. I probably need to wait till Kelly gets back so I can do both. Because one thing I cannot do is multitask. So it's in London and it's 10-inch donuts. Right, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. And that's them there. They want to keep sending me. Look at that. Can you see that? Look at the layers in there. So this is Britain's largest donuts. You can see it's layer of dough. Then you've got the layer of all that chocolatey goodness in there as well. I'm not quite sure how we're going to be able to get these, but yeah, 10-inch donuts. They've got one called the Giant Salted Caramel Lotus and the Giant, what's it called? The Giant Zebra. So which is white and dark chocolate, really. They do a small one, but they are expensive. £55 for a 10-inch. So it's not cheap, but the idea is you have that thing to share. Rich has said, I do have the secret recipe for low mince. I love white mince pies. I thought you put low. I love white mince pies. Things with the lady in the shop says I can eat certain things. Heard the recipe and stuff and heard them say that. I heard what they you wrote it all down while they were talking. That is clever. So Isle of Wight, you mentioned these before. Are they different from regular mince pies? Oh, they got different recipe. Thunder, hello. Kelly's just baking at the moment, hence the reason why she's downstairs. IOW's Isle of Wight. Yeah, sorry, I've twigged that later on. How are you, Thunder? You well? I was just saying we're looking at. Well, I'm just trying to find a. There we are. That was it. So my mission is to try and get to these donuts. Look. That's the 10-inch donut. So the idea is you eat it between you, but it is quite pricey. But we want to try Britain's. I think it'll make a brilliant video. So that's what we're going to try and do. Very different. I'll inbox you the recipe. Oh, please do. I'll be able to take a look at that. Oh, great. Thank you, Thunder. Really, really good. So I'm glad it's Friday. I tell you, it's been absolutely manic today, work-wise, and Kelly's been baking away. Yeah, 10-inch donut. 10-inch donut. Miss Monroe, how are you? Good to see you. I hope you're well. I hope and everybody. What's everybody got planned for the weekend? Has anybody got anything exciting planned? We are, so I say, Kelly's baking cakes at the moment, purely because we're doing an event tomorrow to help Kelly's mum out. So we will be helping. I think it's a charity thing we're doing. So it will be helping to raise money by selling the donuts. Cakes. I've got donuts on the brain. Joke for you. Expensive soup is 24 carat. Brilliant. Do you know what? It's one of those things. I always hear jokes all the time, and I just forget them whenever they come through. The last one I heard was the other day. Was somebody said a guy walks into a fish and chip shop and said, "Can I have cod and chips twice, please?" And the guy said, "It's all right. I heard you the first time." Not that good, I know. Not as good as your 24 carat gold. Glad to hear you're good. That's sweet of you to bake for charity. No, we thought we would do that. I can't even. It's really bad. I can't even remember the charity we're doing it for. So I'll let Kelly do that when she's there. I know. There was another one. Guy walks into a fish and chip shop, and he said, orders fish and chips. Fish and chips come. He goes, "Is this fish cooked?" And the guy said, "Yeah, of course. Why?" He goes, "He's eating all the chips." Sorry, I'll stop there. Yeah. So like I said, this weekend we'll be doing our little bake sale to help money for charity, and then I think Kelly and I are going to try and do another video. We are hoping to get to Italy. So, for those of you not seen Italy, it's a Italian type place that sells fantastic cakes. As you know, we love our cakes. But they also do savoury things as well, like pizza slices and what have you. We first discovered Italy, believe it or not actually in London, but when we went to Las Vegas. So the MGM in Vegas, there's two of them, MGM Grand, and the other one, I forget what it was called now, but the other MGM one where we stayed had an Italy there, and that is where we first discovered it. So when we came back to London, we were really happy to see that they've got an Italy here. So at some point we will go there. You're going to the Transport Museum this weekend. Enjoy. Do you know what we walked past? When did we walk past it? Was it last weekend? It's in Covent Garden, isn't it?
Yeah, you were with though the nephew in, because I didn't go with you. You
No,
went with
that's
the
right.
nephew, yeah.
Thunder's got one. There's a funny one. There's a cheesy pickup line. Are you a beaver? Because damn. This weekend doing the least as possible. Hi, Kelly.
Yes.
So we've got Miss Monroe on, Thunder on, and obviously Richard and Alicia.
Obviously. So hello everyone. Sorry, I was just downstairs because my cupcakes are done.
They wanted to know what charity we're doing it for.
Sorry?
Your mum.
Oh, no, it's not a charity.
I thought it was a charity.
No, it's not a charity. Well, no, because the other one is a charity. The one that she's doing. So basically, in Mauritius, there is a big, what do you call it, festival. Well, it's a bank holiday.
Oh, okay.
Mary, Assumption of Mary. So, she's doing a thing.
Hello. We've got Jacko Robertson on. Hello.
Hey.
How are you? Well, thank you for joining us. How are you?
So basically, I don't know if later on they might become a charity later.
Oh, okay.
But she's part of another thing who are a charity, but it's not that event. So this one is a different event. It's not a charity event. This one.
Thunder said, "Cute hat, Kelly." Do you want to talk?
You.
So this is a new purchase for Kelly. Do you want to talk about it actually? Because it's part of the.
Okay, so at Disney, well, apparently I think they might do this every year. I'm not sure, but they do a main attractions, and it's a part of a series. So it's 12 parts. I think this one's the 5th one, and it's for the 50th anniversary. So at the back, excuse my hair because I just tied it up quickly. It's 50th. So you can on all the 50th. So this year, all part of the main attractions, there's going to be 12, and this is the 5th one, and this is for. Is this the Tinkerbell one? Yeah, this is the Peter Pan one. The other one might have been the Tinkerbell one.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but this is the Peter Pan one, and I'll do a video once I collect all 12. I'll do a video of all 12. Sorry. Because I've been cooking today, I've just baking today, I've tied up my hair and, obviously wash your hands, things like that.
Obviously.
So, yeah. So
Richard said, is this Monday? Is it this Monday?
Is what this Monday?
Oh, are you talking about the event? No.
No, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the assumption was on, I'm not very up forgive me because I'm not very up on the Mauritian religious days and things like that. But I think it was Monday or Tuesday was the assumption of it. Oh, is that what you mean? Was it on Monday?
No,
it's not this Monday. It was either Monday or Tuesday.
It was Tuesday or Wednesday.
It was Tuesday or Wednesday. So we don't know.
Well, yeah.
But
obviously we're really up on these things.
Yeah. So my mum said, you know what? She wants to do a little event. I said, okay, cool. Because she did an event a few years ago. This was prior to the pandemic, so she hasn't done anything since then. She did a Valentine's dance, and so lots of the Mauritian community, they get together, a few drinks and all this. So this event, you just pay £15 for your ticket, but you can bring your own drinks and your own food and things like that. I don't know if there's going to be food there, but I know obviously there'll be cakes there because I'm baking cakes. And I know my mum's got another friend baking cakes as well, so I know there'll be some things for sale there, and there'll be free bottles of drinks.
No, it was Monday. So
it was Monday.
Richard, you were right, we were wrong. Oh, Richard said, did you know Peter Pan's favourite restaurant is Wendy's?
But so yeah, I like that one actually. I like that joke. I'm baking cakes. My mum's got another friend that's baking cakes. I know there might be bottles of drinks on people's tables and stuff like that. I think there's going to be a little bit of a raffle, all of that type of stuff. I know my cousin's DJing and my uncle's helping him out with some musics and stuff. So I think my cousin's going to do sort of for DJ for like the younger ones, and then my uncle will do for the older people. And then so they're going to be doing that between them, and then
busy weekend ahead.
Weekend.
I did like Miss Monroe's response, which just said, I'm doing as little as possible. Do you know some weekends you just have to do that?
It's a
just
must.
Completely rest and relax.
Yeah. And I think for us, well, for me mainly, it's going to be a little bit busy because I thought to myself, oh, maybe I'll do them all tomorrow. And then I thought, do you know what? Let me make a start on them today.
No, exactly.
Yeah. And so if I make a start on the cupcakes today, maybe I'll do the frostings tomorrow. So I'll do all the ganachings and the frostings and all of that tomorrow. And then, and do it that way. So I think they're just cooling on a rack at the moment. So, and I'm thinking, I don't think I've got space for all of these.
No, I was going to say,
all of these cupcakes.
But if you see downstairs, right, it's pretty much on every chair, on every table, on everything.
Because, like, so basic, and I've only got 2 cupcake trays. Because, obviously, I'm not a caterer. And my mum's like, oh, can you do 100 cupcakes? With what? With my two little 12? I said, no, mums, I can't do 100. I'm not a caterer or anything like that. I don't mind, helping out and doing. And then the thing is with my mum, she's very. So basically, I do a cherry and almond cake that she really likes. In fact, a few family members, they really like the cherry and almond cake. It's not my favorite, but they really, really like it. It reminds them of Mauritius and stuff like that. So I said, so she goes, oh, I've got a friend to bake a cherry and almond cupcake. A cherry and almond cake, but I want you to do the cupcakes. So basically, she wanted me to do like 100. And I said, I'm not doing 100 cherry and almond cupcakes. What if not everyone is going to like cherry and almond? Do you know what I mean? And I said, no. I said, don't get me wrong, I will do cherry and almonds, but I'm not going to do, but that's what I want. And I said, that's fine. I know what you want, but that may not be what everyone else wants. Yeah, I know, I'm just thinking of that. But also, you don't know if people got nut allergies.
No, exactly. You've got to be really, really careful with that.
Be really careful. So the cherry and almond will be the last batch of cupcakes that I will do. So basically, what I'm going to do...
Miss Monroe went 100. 100.
100, yeah, exactly. So what I'm going to do is put all the cupcake, I'll box up all the other cupcakes, and then the cherry and almond one will be the last batch of cupcakes that I do, so that, it doesn't get... Luckily, I've bought like boxes of 12 cupcake things, so they can be sort of separate and all of that, because you just don't know. And, not everybody likes cherry and almond. Some people might want something else, but I know it's one of my mum's favourites, but she also likes pineapple upside down cake. So in my mind, I'm thinking, shall I do a pineapple upside down cake? But we'll see.
So I was going to say, so Alicia said, all I'll be doing is eating and dancing, as I'm usually the chef. You relax. Relax.
Alicia's normally doing Alicia normally does the cooking and I do the baking. But my mum never gives me the right numbers of who's coming. So I always do a rule of thumb that if I'm going somewhere, I always bake 2 cakes. So so when my mum did something at her house the other day, it was for my gran. And so my gran passed away a good few years ago now, and so she was doing sort of like a memorial thing. And I said, oh, how many is coming? And she said, oh, she made it seem as if it was just my brother, my sister-in-law, the 2 kids, her, and her sister. That's how she made it sound. So only a few of us. And so in my mind, I just thought, oh, do you know what? Let me bake 2 cakes, because not everybody likes 1 cake, let's say. But 17 people were there. There's 17 people, and I didn't bake enough for 17 people. If you saw how thin I had to cut those cakes, because my mum didn't even tell me.
Alicia, your mum isn't the only one who likes pineapple upside down cake. Miss Monroe, so Richard said doing a hot pot. Oh, hang on a minute, I missed a few here. Miss Monroe said never works out like that though. Talking about when you plan to relax. I know what you're saying. I'm the same. I thought I'm going to do nothing this weekend. Then suddenly somebody says, "Oh, we're doing this. We're doing that." I think,
no, I tell Mark
I'm not going to remember.
I'm very, very organised. Everybody who knows me knows this. I'm very organised, and so I would have told him in good time, this is what we're doing. Mark chooses not to remember things, which is fair enough. That's up to you. But don't then go, because I done told you long time ago.
Oh, Miss Monroe will sympathise. Oh, Richard said, doing a hot pot tomorrow, Chinese place in London. But you have to get early because of the city train strikes. Oh, yeah. So anybody who's in London, don't forget tomorrow, there is a train strike tomorrow. So only 20% of trains will be running tomorrow. And it will affect Sunday service. So just bear that in mind if anybody is in London or coming into London. Well, I think it's a national train strike. So just be wary that there will be a national train strike, I believe, tomorrow.
Wow.
Richard, as well, I was going to ask you, do you know when the first train is? Because I believe it's only till 7:30. All the earlier trains are cancelled, but I may be wrong.
Wow.
Just be wary of that, because I know you would know. So I was just wondering, do you know when the earliest train is? Richard said, what size would you say is an official cupcake and not a fairy cake?
Well, fairy cakes are the smaller ones, aren't they? They're fairy cakes because they would be for fairies. Like,
right, okay.
Fairies as in, the size of the fairies. So Lola's cupcakes. So Lola's cupcakes do the small cakes. They'd be fairy cakes.
I had it wrong because I thought fairy cakes just had the wings. They got the little 2 wings.
Oh no, those are butterfly cakes. They're butterfly cupcakes. Yeah,
okay.
They're butterfly cupcakes. I love butterfly cupcakes. I was debating whether I was going to make them or not, but no. But yeah, they're butterfly cupcakes. Fairy cakes, yeah, is when they're small, so they're about that size. But cupcakes are, and then you get giant cupcakes.
Yeah. Well, Alicia says she's still waiting for her birthday cake from 2021.
I know.
And she's saying cake is cake, lol.
I know. I will. That is on my mind. It is at the back of my mind, but it is on my mind. So don't worry. I will at some, because sometimes I don't always feel like baking cakes. Do you know what I mean? And I think because it was during the lockdown and I was practicing, and even now I'm still practicing. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes I have to still try to work out how our oven works in the sense of heat wise, because so I'll bake cakes here and they're good. They'll come out nice and everything else. But when I baked it at my mum, it was very good timing.
Alicia said, when am I going to get this? February 2023? Leash. So as you can imagine, Alicia's birthday is in February. Hence the reason why she said, when am I going to get my...
You know what?
3 years she's had to wait. 3 years. No, 4.
Alicia and Stefano, they're the 2 people that I didn't bake birthday cakes for.
Disgusting.
I baked birthday cakes for everybody else. But Alicia and my cousin Stefano, those are the 2 that I haven't baked cakes for.
We'll have to run a
for their birthdays.
You're lucky I love you. It's fine. We'll have to run a competition. You have to bake for somebody.
Who am I going to have to bake for? What competition? What's the competition?
Whoever wants a cake baked. First one.
But that's not a competition, is it?
No. First one comes in. I don't know. I'm spitballing. I'm just thinking of ideas. You know me. Ignore me, everybody. 5 inches across is a cupcake. Anything below that is not a cupcake in my eyes. So the magic 5-inch diameter.
Okay.
There you are.
Yeah, I just know that when they are the bigger, and then fairy cakes, I can only imagine with fairy cakes, it's because that's the size that a fairy would eat. That's why they'd be called fairy
Here's
cakes.
one for everybody. Hear me out. So my brother lives in the United States, and what he was telling me is what they do now for burgers now in the United States is rather than the bun. So obviously, remember, it always used to be a sesame seed bun. Now they've upgraded it to brioche. Now, now listen to this. In the United States now, instead of buns, they're using donuts.
Not everywhere.
But it's a popular thing now. So you would have your donut. They would slice the donut in half. You'd open it up, and then you put the burger, lettuce, and everything in there.
Or chicken.
So it's not glazed donut. It would be like a regular, like the ring donut that you would get, Homer Simpson donut, I always call it, that round ring donut. That's what they would use. You won't have the glaze, the sweet glaze on it, but it would be that.
No, some of them do have the glaze.
They have the sweet glaze on it.
Yeah. Some of them have, because they do it as a. I've not seen burgers as in burger patties. I've only seen chicken burgers. Yeah. So I haven't seen burger patties.
In the States, he was saying that they do burger patties.
Wow.
How does that sound to you guys? Would you have a burger with a donut bun? Would you have it with the sweet? Would you have it with the plain? Hang on a second. Or would that just be a total no-no for you? Would that be too much? Or would you like the sound of that?
But also, I feel like in the States, they are very... Because they also have, scones, which they call biscuits.
Yeah.
with their chicken.
Yeah.
You know, it like biscuits and gravy or something. And the gravy is not even gravy. The gravy is some white thing that they.
Yeah,
it almost looks like a bread sauce.
It's chicken gravy. That's what it is.
Oh, is that what it is?
So Miss Monroe, it's chicken gravy. Miss Monroe came first and went, no, no, no. Richard said McDonald's cupcakes are for small mouths. Do you know what? Actually, it's a cupcake. Do you know what I did try though, Richard, which I thought was really nice? Somebody went to Greg's in my workplace and bought a load of stuff from Greg's back and gave me a muffin. And it was really, really good. It was a caramel muffin. I think it was I may have been sticky toffee pudding one, I think, or it may have been tast-a-licious. I wasn't sure, but they just handed it to me. And it was really good. I must say, Greg's did a really good muffin. I've not had a McDonald's.
I've got to say, I prefer Greg's meat-free sausage roll to their sausage roll.
Yeah, you said.
Yeah, I've got to say. But there are some things these days, and that doesn't go for everything though. So, you know, where I do prefer the vegetarian option to, like, when we went to Inamo, I felt like their aubergine was so good. And
I agree.
They did the cauliflower as well. That was really good. And where did we go? Oh, we went to Happy. And their cauliflower was really good that you had. Richard
said you must try Waitrose apple crumble muffin. Richard, thank you very much. We will try that. So, guys, we do like to sort of share ideas and stuff that we've had. So one of the things we had was the Waitrose Florentines. Now, we struggled to get them. The reason we got them, so a very, very, very lovely lady that I work with sent me a Waitrose hamper for Christmas. And in it were the Florentines. And in the Florentines with the Waitrose, it's the number one. So their top range is called the number one. You know, like Sainsbury's do the taste of difference and someone else does the best. This was their top range, which is the number one, and they're called the Florentine. So it's not orange, isn't it? Orange Florentine. If you get it, do try it. It's amazing.
It's the milk chocolate
Florentine. The milk chocolate one. So they do milk chocolate with orange in it. There are two Florentines, but that's the best one.
One's milk chocolate and one's dark chocolate.
Yeah, but do try that one. It's amazing. But thank you, Richard. We will try the apple crumble muffin. We will give that a go because there is a Waitrose not too far from us.
Yeah. So. There's a couple actually.
Yeah.
And the thing about Waitrose is I feel that they are more expensive than Marks and Spencer's, right?
Yeah.
Now they are a John Lewis brand. John Lewis, they're part of John Lewis basically, which is why you will find that they are expensive. But I have to say I don't like all of the stuff that they produce. Even some of the cake stuffs that they do is nice, but not everything that they do is all of that.
I was just laughing. So Richard said, "What is this British craze about having oranges in everything?" Ew. Do you know what? It's very true, actually. I'm like you, Richard, but I've got to say, even though I'm not a massive fan of orange and everything, this was quite nice. But I do agree with you. I'm not a huge choc orange fan. You are.
It's specific ones. Okay. So I feel like my palate has elevated from, you know, like a Terry's chocolate orange.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, I loved a Terry's. When I was younger, I wasn't a Terry's chocolate orange fan because I really wasn't chocolate orange stuff. But somebody, or I don't know who it was, got me a chocolate orange and it had bits in it. And so in Quality Street, they do the hexagon orange thing and it's got crispy bits. Oh my goodness, that is so good. And then on top of that, they did Quality Street went through this phase of doing giants. So you got the giant triangle.
Yeah, that's right.
You got the giant pen.
Richard will know this because he goes to John Lewis and Oxford Street.
Yeah. But I've not seen the giants for years, so I don't think they do the giants anymore. But I used to get them, and I used to think, oh my god, they're so good. But I love chocolate orange, but I don't like things like you know, like matchmakers, chocolate orange matchmakers. I don't like those, or I'm not really a fan of Terry's chocolate orange anymore. But I do love the popping candy chocolate orange.
Oh yes,
which they only do at Christmas. Your brother bought me a big one, which I still haven't eaten yet. And that's got popping candy in it, and I really love. I love chocolate with popping candy in it. I really enjoy it. And Creations, they got popping candy in in the creation. So you get like the chewy jelly, you get the popping candy, and then they do sort of like Smarties in there as well. So it's really, I really like the creations.
Richard asked, I wonder what the John Lewis new limited chocolate will be this year. So,
I didn't know they did a limited edition chocolate.
So Richard was saying this before. So every year they do a specialist chocolate. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I think it's part of their collection. So when
is it part of Quality Street?
I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong, Richard, but I think he was saying that they'll do the specialist ones. And I think, Richard, correct me if I'm wrong, you were saying that if you go to John Lewis in Oxford Street, you can pick a mix there. Yeah. I think it's the only place you can pick a mix. That's what he was saying as well. Which you can't find anywhere else.
You used to be able to pick a mix.
Yeah, that's right.
Woolworths, you used to be able to pick a mix. The actual chocolates. But yeah, I think you're right. I think John Lewis is pretty much the only place, because even in Ye Olde or Mr. Sims and Hardy's, I don't think they do the pick and mix for Quality Streets or anything like that.
Oh, now actual fact, Richard, I do want to talk about this. So Richard said a little tip: go to Black Friday this year.
Oh right. Okay.
So
Black Friday's November.
Yeah, Black Friday's November. So guys, you probably know this already, but Black Friday, I think, is the second Friday in November?
It's normally around the 24th sometime.
It's anyway.
Yeah.
If you go then, that's when they do. Obviously, they have a Black Friday and a Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
Black Friday is always the best deals, I find. But with the Black Friday, so when you're saying tip, go Black Friday, are you saying go to John Lewis on Black Friday? I've always found that. So Kenny and I, quick story, we went to Florida one year for her birthday, and it just so happens that Black Friday fell on I think it was the first week we were there. We were there 2 weeks.
No, it's always after my birthday.
Oh, it was after my birthday, right?
Yeah, it's always after. So Black Friday. Is it always after?
Anyway, so we were there on Black Friday.
Mixed up with,
so we went to the Florida Mall, and it was absolutely rammed. Honestly, nowhere does sales like the Americans. So when we were in there, I'll give you an example. I walked into Abercrombie and Fitch. Every single item, and I mean every single item, was half off, 50% off. All the new stock was 50% off. Anyway, they had the sale items there, and I just assumed that in Britain, you would never get that. You would get 30% off in some items.
Yeah, up to,
yeah. Anyway, they had the sale items, and I said, does that exclude the sale items? And the cashier said, no, that's 50% off, but it's 50% off the sale item list. And I brought, do you remember? I spent loads. I bought a Parker coat. Now, this Parker coat was £250, which is about $300. I got it for $150, so that is £120.
Yeah.
So reduced from $250 to about $120.
Yeah.
It was really, really, I mean, like I said, I would never have bought it if it wasn't on the half price sale. The very next day, went straight back up to normal price. So I said to Kelly, if I'm going to get it, I've got to get it now.
Yeah, because you have a tendency to
procrastinate.
He's lost out on so many things. Because of procrastination. Should I get it? But I'm always of the mind, especially if you're abroad, you may not get it again.
Yeah.
So if you see something and you like it, and especially for me, because of the size that I am as well, like with Mark, it's a bit more easy because he can go in and he doesn't even have to try things on. He can just get things in his size. Whereas with me, I have to see if it suits me and all of this type of stuff. And it's a whole emotional roller coaster when you go shopping and stuff like that. So I'm like, right, okay. So when you see things, and especially in the States, because there are a lot more bigger people, they cater better for plus size people as well. So you can get something that suits you so much better, but for plus size people, it is very expensive.
So we will remind you come November, but also as well, start going online as well, because you'll start to get some really good.
It might be the second Friday.
Miss Monroe said, have you tried the Yorkshire pasty? First half is meat and potato, and there's a pasty divided there. There's jam in the second half. Where's this? Where did you find this? I've not heard of that. Was it the Yorkshire pasty? Can you get it anywhere, Miss Moran?
Do you know what? I would think that would have been for workers back in the day.
And Richard said, I've tried that. Where did you guys got? You come with some brilliant ideas. Let me just have a look.
I feel like that is something that, workmen, when they were going on site or mining or whatever back in the day, I think that that's the sort of thing that they would have eaten. So like your lunch, your meat,
Well, that is the
and then you have your dessert straight afterwards. That's how I would view that. Do you know what I mean?
That's how the original pasty was, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So it was designed for mine. That's why you've got the crust. So the miners would eat the. Obviously there's a lot of tin mines in Cornwall, and that it was designed with the big crust for that. They crimped it. So what they would do, their hands were full of lint, which is poisonous.
Yeah.
So they would eat they'd hold the crust. It's designed for that. You eat the rest and you chuck the crust away. That's what the crust is for.
No, but when you see a pasty.
No. You're thinking of these.
Yeah, that's what I'm
No,
thinking of.
that's not a Cornish pasty.
Oh,
this is a Yorkshire.
No. Did you say? Oh yeah, Kelly, you're correct. Did you say? Oh, Yorkshire pasty.
Yeah, this is a Yorkshire pasty.
Yeah, but that's what I was thinking of. Yorkshire pasty, not Cornish pasty.
No, so what Miss Rowe's saying is, so I'm just looking at here. That's a Yorkshire pasty 2-pack. So it looks similar. But what Miss Rowe's saying is there's a divider in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the workers would have eaten that and then had yeah, but you're talking about a Cornish pasty.
I was talking about a Cornish pasty.
Yeah, I was talking about this pasty.
So JB Wilkinson seems to do that. I've never heard of that. What are they like?
Never heard of it.
Oh, Richard got his in Whitby. Yorkshire pasty. I've never heard of that. Thank you for sharing that though, guys, because I think that's something we should try.
I've yet to try a Yorkshire pasty that I like, actually. I'll eat them, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel to be fair though, I've only ever had a pasty from, is it that what's that pasty shop called? It is called Cornish. It is called Cornish pasty.
Yeah, Cornish, I think it's called. Cornish.
Yeah.
You always see them in rail stations.
Yeah. But they've opened one up in Disney. They actually have opened one at Disney Springs. Hey Tom,
how are you?
To him earlier. Tom was involved in an accident.
Oh.
Thankfully, he's okay because I was watching his stories earlier. He was in a lady sort of rear-ended him. She was in the wrong lane or something like that.
Right.
But luckily, everybody's okay. And I was saying to him, do you know what? I'm glad that you're okay.
Oh, God, I'm glad you're okay, Tom. Really good to see you.
Yeah. But you could see that she's mashed up her car and she's mashed up a little. Luckily, because it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
But the corner bit where his light is all come away and all of this.
Well, I'm really glad you're okay.
It's going to be loads of work. But
really good to see you on as well. Richard said we're missing out, so we're going to have to. So, Tom, we were just talking about Yorkshire pasties, and also while you're on, because I know Tom's from Cardiff. Tell us your favourite Welsh treat. Now, when I've gone to Wales, I love Welsh cakes. I really do like Welsh cakes.
Are those Eccles cakes?
No, not the same. They look like biscuits. The Eccles cakes are different. Eccles cakes are sort of.
They look like biscuits. Eccles cakes.
Yeah, they're not. They're flaky pastry, aren't they? With what do you call them in the middle?
Oh, I'm thinking of the flat ones that look like.
Oh,
biscuits.
Welsh cakes with white chocolate. That sounds amazing.
Ooh.
No, Eccles cakes are. They look a bit like what? How could you describe them? You guys know what Eccles cakes are.
That's what I thought they were.
No, they're not Welsh biscuits.
I'm going to have a look at Welsh. I'm going to have a look at Welsh biscuits.
Welsh cakes are like biscuits. Eccles cakes are like that.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. They look like biscuits.
They're not the same.
They're not the
Welsh
same
cakes.
as right. Okay.
They're not the same. So we are missing out. I've not tried Yorkshire pasties at all. Richard said today's dinner is fish and salad and fish off with rice pudding, the posh edition. When you say the posh edition, where are you getting that from? Is that like M&S?
I do not like anything gelatinous, semolina, tapioca, anything like that.
I do.
But I do love, I don't know why, I love rice pudding, especially with a dollop of jam in the middle. And whenever they used to do that at school, I used to eat it all the time. And then as I got an adult, sometimes I'll get ambrosia. It's very rare that I ever fancy it. It's a bit like corned beef. It's very rare that I ever fancy it. But every, 20 or 30 years or something, and I think, do you know what? I think I'm going to get a corned beef sandwich. And it'd be so random. It's just such a random thing.
Tom said, Welsh cakes are like a flatter scone.
Right, yeah. I just saw them, yeah.
But I always like them because they're very flaky. The ones I've had are really, really flaky. But they've got that really nice buttery taste to them with the raisins in as well. They're really, really nice. And I can imagine they would be nice with chocolate on. I've never tried them with chocolate.
Do you know what? It's a funny thing because there are certain things that I like, but there's certain things that I don't like. So when I was younger, my mum used to give me biscuits with raisins in them. Didn't like them. But Borders do a really nice raisin.
Borders biscuits, yeah.
Borders biscuits. They do a really nice raisin biscuit. And I tell you, I eat It's only because we stayed in a hotel, and they so basically they had these Borders biscuits that were free in the hotel. So there was like a little mini bar or whatever, and then this might have been at the Strand Palace.
Yeah.
So at the Strand Palace, they had this drawer that you slid out, and then you got all your tea and making things, and they had packets of crisps there, and they had these biscuits there, all for free, which was brilliant. So you could just take and eat them. And then they had in the fridge, they had like cans of Coke and Diet Coke and waters and all of that. Again, all for free. So that was the first time when I tried Borders biscuits. They had a golden crunch crumble, which was really good. Bits of caramel, sort of hard caramel in them. And then they had the currants one. The one with like currants in them. And I really enjoyed it. So a nice cup of tea. And then a bite of these biscuits. Oh,
no, I know we keep banging on about this, but we cannot recommend it highly enough. Which was Creme in Soho in central London. Those biscuits are amazing. But they're cookies, but they're about that thick. They are so good.
I think you and Janai I really like them, but I think you and Janai like them more than I do.
His face when we bought them, yeah.
Yeah, but I think, do you know what? I mean, I cannot recommend them highly enough. So if you're in London, if you're in Soho, they do have 2 branches. Do you know where it is, the other branch?
Where?
Dubai.
What?
Dubai. It's just so random, but they've got a branch in Dubai.
Yeah, you might find the Soho one easier to get to.
Yeah. But Borders biscuits are delicious. They really
Miss Monroe
are.
likes them.
They really are. I've got to say, one day, so they do an assorted box.
Sorry, just before we start. So that's the creme ones. If you can see there, they are that thick, and that's all just gooey chocolate as well. That's what they look like.
You have to have them warm. There's no point in having them.
Absolutely. Check out our video where we did them. You'll see.
We've done them a couple of times.
Yeah, several times. As you know, we just keep banging on about them.
No, Mark keeps banging on.
And they don't even give me a freebie when I go in.
No,
we're not sponsored by them.
We're not sponsored. We're not sponsored by any.
No.
Any reviews that we do comes out of our own pocket. We don't get sponsored by these people. We don't get no freebies, nothing like that. Unless we're staying in a hotel and it's free, obviously, like everyone would have.
So Richard's posh pudding is coming from Rachel's Organic Divine Edition. Ooh. So go on, your favourite biscuit. So Miss Monroe's talked about Borders. Kelly loves the Borders, but what happens is, right, Kelly will buy this massive square box of them, but there's always there's two sides that are left because she doesn't like the shortbread. And what else don't you like?
No, they're both shortbread.
Oh, both shortbread. She doesn't like shortbread.
Yeah, I'm not a lover of. So Mark ends up eating them. But one day I got them, right, and they come in like a weird box. So it's just basically a little box, and then it comes with a plastic bit on top. Right? It's not. You can't close it shut or anything. It just sits on top. So one day I had them like this. The top popped off. All the biscuits fell on the floor. All of the biscuits, and I was so upset because you know when you're enjoying something and you're about to eat it, and it's like, and I was like,
Richard said, I can't decide on Rolo, Toffee Crisp, Kit Kat, Aero, Peppermint, Yorkie, or Munchies. Has got the all. I'm gonna go out of that list. So Rolo, Toffee Crisp, Kit Kat, Aero, Peppermint, Yorkie, or Munchies. Do you know what? I would either go. Rolo or Munchies. 3-second rule, Kelly. 3-second rule.
Listen, by the time I stopped crying, that 3-second rule had gone out of the window. The thing was, because my bedroom is not too far from the stairs, and it's very close. So we've only got a very small landing. Even some of them rolled down the stairs. That's what happened. They rolled out into the corridor, or some of them down the stairs. One of them landed on my trainer. And I was just like,
this is the way it goes. Do you know what though? They did a channel, Channel 4 always used to do this thing where they would actually show like top 10s of things. And they did it on biscuits. And every time in the top 10, rich tea are in there. Who buys
rich tea? Who? And do you know what? Because obviously your family are British and things like that, I would have thought that you would have...
No, they don't touch rich tea.
Like, in my family, my parents come from Mauritius. I'm first generation born here. And don't get me wrong, they had rich tea in the house, but nobody ever ate them. And my mum purposefully bought dry biscuits because they would last longer. If she bought any tasty biscuits, they would be gone in seconds. And she said she didn't like that. So her thinking was, if she bought dry biscuits like Rich Tea and things like that, the dry biscuits, that nobody that they would last longer. Well, of course they last longer because they got thrown away because nobody would eat them, and Rich Tea was among them. But there are so many people that I know, like people whose parents come, you know, from Nigeria or Uganda or somewhere like that, and they've been brought up on Rich Tea biscuits.
I just don't get it.
So well, you
It's
know,
like
where I used to work, one of the guys, he'd be dipping it, and I was like, "What are you eating?" Oh, Rich Tea. He'd have a packet in his drawer, and I'd be like, "But why? But why?"
It's like carpet underlay. It's just so it's hard. I don't know. It just reminds me of what's it? You know, corkboard where you put little.
Oh, yeah,
messages.
yeah,
It's
cool.
like that. Richard said, "I don't believe in the 3-second rule. Depends on how clean the floor is, or cut it off." For the first example, definitely Richard said this from. Do you know that's the whole thing? If it dropped on our office floor, no, and not because the office floor is dirty, but I just know it. People have been wandering up and down. People got their shoes on. You don't know what they've been. Oh, no.
No, at where I used to work, in fact, a lot of places where I used to work, I have my own sponge and my own cup and all of this, and I'll go and wash my my sponge. I'll wring it out and I bring it back to my drawer, and then I leave it. My cousin was telling me, and I, because people think I'm crazy, and I said this to my cousin, go, Kel, me too. You never guess what? One day I went into the kitchen and somebody was using the sponge to clean their shoes.
Yeah,
Can you imagine they cleaning their shoes with the sponge that everybody cleans their dishes with? I said no. Now that I never caught anybody doing that, you know, where I've worked previous places, but in my mind I've always had my own sponge and my own cup. It's just how I've always been, and I wash my own cup and all of these. My own glass, my own things, spoon, or maybe I will adopt a spoon and then I always wash it, and that will be my knife, fork, spoon, and whatever, and that will be sitting in my drawer.
See, that always worries me as well. Things like because obviously when you leave, obviously it doesn't happen, but when you go to a hotel and obviously you leave all your toothbrush and stuff out there. There was a French and
I don't do that.
There was a French and Saunders sketch many years ago where they were cleaners. They walked in and she went to clean the toilet, and she went on and she just and grabbed someone's toothbrush and scrubbed it around.
There's no way. I never leave my toothbrush out. It is zipped up and it is zipped in the suitcase.
Well, I thought, funny enough, many years ago I bought a electric toothbrush and I was reading the instructions how to use it. And at the end, it had a guidance and it said, please keep this at least 3 meters away from the toilet.
Yeah.
Because of the spray from the toilet. And I thought, that never had occurred to me before.
I don't keep my toothbrush. Mark would tell you my toothbrush is not in the bathroom.
Richard said, worst funny moment. Mr. Monroe said, on your own floor. Yeah, on your own floor is fine. You know it's deep. Richard said, worst funny moment. I dropped a slice of cream cake on my cat. It ran and meowed off, licking the cream off.
In case you're trying to wipe it. I'm like, oh, it's fine.
I think my parents did that many years ago. I think they cooked, not dropped cream on it, but they cooked a chicken, something very similar. You know, you got the carcass bones, they put it on the top. My mum came into the kitchen and the cat was just literally on top of the cat. Just chewing all the little bits of meat off of it.
Yeah, my mum believes in the 3-second rule. I don't know why. But do you know what? When I was little, I've always been very particular. So I'm quite difficult. So like I remember, and I've told this story before, where I wanted a lolly. It was a split.
Oh,
I don't know if you ever had a split, but they used to be like ice cream on the inside and a lolly on the outside. They used to call it was called something split. Split lolly.
I remember.
It was called something split, or ice cream split or something like that. Anyway, now there was always a difference when my dad used to look after me and when my mum used to look after me. There's two different types of things. So anyways, that was my dad, and I think we were walking back from Brixton, back in the day, sort of like Brixton, Stockwell area. We were walking to Vauxhall, and I remember, and I must have been about 4. I was very, very young. And I remember him giving me this strawberry split.
Yeah.
That's the strawberry split. So he gave me a strawberry split. You know, my dad used to indulge me, so he gave me a strawberry split. So I'm eating this, it's all dripping down my hands and everything, and I don't care, and I'm eating it. So after I finished it, like I would have done with my mum, can I have a tissue, Daddy? Oh no, I haven't got any tissue. I was so shocked. My hand was sticky and everything else and all of this. And I remember crying about it because it was, well, my hands were sticky and all of this. I was like, oh my God. I was one of these children that didn't like playing in the mud. I didn't like getting dirty or anything like that. But I also think that was a little bit drilled into me. Oh, you're getting dirty. Just and all of this type of stuff. So you have a mental thing about that. And that's how I was, and I didn't like to get myself dirty. I didn't like mud on me. You know, I was a little bit of a tomboy. Don't get me wrong. So I'd like to run about with all the boys and things like that. Get trainers on, always wear trousers or overalls or something. I say overalls, dungarees is what I mean, and run about and all of this type of stuff. But I did not like getting dirty or sticky or anything like that. And I wouldn't mind so much getting sticky if there's something to clean the stickiness afterward or whatever. And I remember crying with I don't think my dad knew what to do. And I just remember, I thought in my mind, how can you not have tissue?
Richard said, today was funny. Before you came on, I asked my cat, do they want anything from the shops? How do you ask them? Do you just English?
I'm going to the shop. Do you want anything?
Tiddles meowed to Katie, and she meowed back, and Tiddles meowed at me. So you had this like Fri-yay conversation going. Meow.
And how did you interpret it?
Yeah. I'm being serious, actually. I'm actually being genuine. If your cat meows at you, do you think you know what they're after? Can you tell what they're after? Just out of interest. The reason why I say that, and I'm genuine about a friend of mine had a dog. And she said to me, with her dog, she could tell what the dog wanted just by the way it barked or growled or moaned or it would huff.
If you know your pet well, and I don't have a pet, but I do believe that they can meow in a certain way, and you would know the basics, like if they're hungry or if they want to go out.
Well, anybody that does have a pet, can you tell what your pet wants just by the sounds of it?
I would imagine so. I really, really would.
You meow at your cat. You have certain meows for anything. No, I have heard that where people said that they can imitate they could almost see what's the word? Translate.
Yeah.
What their animal's asking them.
I think if you are in tune with your pet, and not everyone is, and every pet is different because every pet has different personalities and all of that type of stuff. And I don't truly understand it because I had a pet when I was younger, but again, we only had the dog for a brief time. And then my mum got pregnant and the dog was growling at her a lot. So then they sort of got rid of the dog. I don't know because I went to school one day and I came home and the dog was gone. I remember I was really upset about it. But yeah, it was growling at my mum quite a lot. And he would growl at anybody. The only person he wouldn't growl at is me. But he would growl at my brother, and in the end was growling to my stepdad, would growl to my mum, and anybody who tried to take but I was the only person.
Well,
yeah, it's crazy.
I know it's not a pet, but I don't know why I'm fascinated by this YouTube channel. It's about this South African guy, and he keeps poisonous snakes, but he does it for a living. So his company, they make antidotes all around the world. But obviously his job is to milk snakes. So what he does is he shows you on his YouTube channel, he'll go, right, now I've got to milk this king cobra. So he'll grab this thing out, and then they've got this like big plastic thing with a cover over it.
Oh, with the milk the fangs.
Yeah, you milk the fangs. So he's got to stick it in. But of course, in one episode, just funny, this one got loose and it sort of sniffs like this in his face. He goes, right, now I've got to be careful because if this strikes, I'm dead. So he had to quit it. But it's one of the world's most dangerous jobs.
Oh god, yeah, to milk the fangs, yeah, of course.
Really poisonous snakes. Richard said, sharp meow is open door, long meow is food. Tiddles makes a drink noise for needs water with her lips. Super long meow, Katie wants stroking with a cat brush. Oh my god, so you know what they are.
I think if you're in tune with your pet, I believe it. Yeah, I believe you. But I believe many things. I believe if you're susceptible to many things, Like, not obviously not everything, but different people will be susceptible to different things. And if you're in tune with your pet, I think you can.
Don't ask me why, but I just find it fascinating. So going back to the snakes thing, and Snakes in the City is another one I watched. So again, it's set in South Africa. It's a British guy. He emigrated out there, and his job, he gets paid to basically get dangerous snakes out of people's houses. They're normally like green or black mambas.
Wow.
Of course, all he's got is this pole, and he's trying to get that. And then, of course, 9 times out of 10, they're behind a fridge.
Isn't it the same pole that they catch dogs? It's similar.
Similar, but it's got a
loop.
hook.
Yeah,
but it's not a loop; it's a hook.
Oh, this one's a hook.
Because you hook under the snake and you lift it like that, and you've got to put it in a bag. But this guy has to do that. I made a note on lockdown for certain meows. Oh, really? Wow. Do you think, Ashafat, and this is a note for anybody, do you feel that since lockdown, have you got closer to your pets? Obviously, because you spent more time at home.
I think people went out and got pets specifically.
Well, they said that. And also as well, they said when they have to go back, that's when they tried to take a lot. RSPCA had so many returns after lockdown. Because the things like dogs, cats, they need a lot of attention.
They do.
You know, with a dog, if you have a dog, you've got to realise you have to walk it every day.
I think, though, a lot of people who committed to remote work, like to work from home, will have kept their pets. But the other, because I do think that, you know, I like, you know, some people who can't stay at home. I don't believe that, God, they should not get a pet. Oh my God, that's it. But I do like when they invest in certain things to keep the pet company. So now, you know, you've got those screens, and the screens come on and you can call the dog, and then the dog comes to the screen and things like that. And I like all of that type of stuff. I think, you know, but I also think, you know, maybe two pets so that they keep each other company because if you think about it, and a dog lives for however many years. Because their lifespan is, if you think about it, is short.
It's short, yeah.
So for them, you out for the day is a very long time for them.
Yeah, totally.
It's a very long time when you're gone for 7 or however many hours out of the house. They don't see their owner. And I think, it is quite, it can be, you know, quite
traumatic for us.
Yeah.
Well, I know I've got friends that have had pets have said that their pet gets stressed. Gets highly stressed.
Do. Yeah. So I think if they're two of them sort of running about together, you know, doing whatever, and I specifically would get small dogs because I think they can get in and out the cat flap. So then they can go out in the garden and run around and do whatever they want to do and all of this type of stuff, and then come back in the house when they want to. But I don't want them bringing other cats. So I would get them, you know, them collars that they can come in and out, but the other pets can't come in as well.
Richard said, long meow, heard from Tiddles eating dinner first.
Meow. But yeah, I think, if you're in tune with your pet, if you spend a lot of time with your pet, you will know what they want and what their meows mean.
I think
barks mean.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say, I think I told you that story. I used to house sit for a friend of mine many, many years ago with his cat. And it was so funny because all the cat food was in the kitchen and they had a cat flap. And what would happen is he'd be eating the cat, and then next door's neighbour's cat would start to poke his head in. And then what he would do is he'd go to the cat flap this and he'd wait. And the cat would poke his head in a bit more and he'd wait a bit more and he'd wait. And the cat would go right this. And then with his paw, he'd smack the top of the cat. And his cat would then go back out of the house. Richard said, Katie's staying in. She's been out 13 hours last night. Naughty. Oh, wow. Gone out for a bit, Ray.
But I think you've got a friend at work and that they've got a cat, and then the next door's cat and comes to the house. He's kind of adopted this cat that
well, no,
but they don't.
They moved now, but he said So we said what happened is his next door neighbour's cat came into his house, peed on the television screen, peed on it to mark its territory. So he rubbed its nose in it. But he said, look, basically the neighbour obviously knew what was going on, because he kept feeding it. Of course, his cat's getting fed. So essentially, the cat didn't go home; it stayed in his house. But when he went to move, he said to his neighbour, "Look, well, we're moving." And he said, "Oh, you can take the cat if you want to." So he said, "All right, if you don't mind, I'll take the cat." But then he said, right when about to move, he then changed his mind. I said, "Oh no, my kids really said they missed the cat; they want the cat." So he said, well, you're going to have to take the cat back in because you've not fed it for years. I've been feeding it.
Can you imagine?
Next month's vlogs are involving Big Half, BBC World Service and wrestling.
Wow.
We shall keep an eye out for
Yeah.
those. So when you say big half, what do you mean by that, Richard? The BBC World Service, which is we know, and of course you said, and wrestling. Are you into British wrestling, or is it WWE?
They used to call it WWF,
Yeah.
and then obviously the World Wrestling
Yeah.
Foundation and the animal
World
one.
Wildlife Fund.
Yeah, they went to court over.
Oh, is that why they?
Yeah,
changed
they
it?
went. That's why they had to change it, because they lost and they had to change it to WWE. Yeah. But yeah, they both went to court. This was years ago.
Oh, I didn't know that was the reason why they changed it.
Yeah, that's the World Wrestling.
Oh, British wrestling.
Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks back in the day.
You're going back to the 80s.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's the thing. I never thought British wrestling really took off, obviously because of that. But I'd be interested to see, actually.
But I think our one was real with Giant Haystack. My grandparents used to love watching wrestling on the Sunday, and I'd be like, oh my God, are we watching this again?
Ah, your mum's late birthday gift. You're actually going to take her to go to the wrestling.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Actually, funny enough, I knew a lady that used to wrestle in the UK, and now she wrestles in the United States.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she wrestles there, though.
My brother and my sister used to be into WWE.
I was never... Well, I'm old now, so in the 90s, my parents never had Sky TV.
Oh, wow.
And you had to have Sky TV to watch it. So that's why I was never into it. But all my friends had Sky TV. And
we didn't have Sky because we didn't get Sky till very, very late.
Oh, really?
Very late. Yeah, we didn't have a PC or anything till very late.
We've never had Sky until you got it.
Yeah, in fact, I don't know. I don't think my parents ever got Sky. They've never had it.
Your mum's got it now.
No, she hasn't.
She did at one point. She definitely had it at one point.
No,
I'm sure
she's never had it.
Well, she had cable. She had one of the two.
No, she's never had Virgin.
She must have done. So I remember watching football. Or one of her guests watching football.
Yeah.
Richard said big half is half marathon and same company as London Marathon. It's news, and in London you can watch iBox details. You can see me. Oh right, okay. Well, again, we'll keep an eye out for. There's a lot of videos actually. I'm on Water Station 3. There's a lot of videos actually you've got coming up. I'm interested in.
You've got quite a few videos.
All your Isle of Wight ones I'm looking forward to.
I keep sort of trying to do it, and then I get distracted or whatever, and I'm not concentrating enough on doing the sort of the video editing. But I am going to dedicate some time and try and bash them out.
Yeah, we do need to do that. So we have been trying to keep up with our we got really bad at one point. So at one stage we were doing one video every month and thought, right, we must up it. So we've been trying to push it.
I have done a lot of shorts though, and I have done a lot on TikTok. So if there's any videos you want to catch up on or know what we're doing, you will catch them on TikTok or YouTube Shorts. So you'll catch them on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, or Instagram. I do put things on Instagram.
So do keep an eye out because we've got many more to come, and we will be doing a lot of filming very, very soon. So we will keep that.
We've got some things coming up. We've got some things in the pipeline, and it just depends on how quickly we can edit them and pop them up.
Upload them.
Yeah, and upload them. But I think the thing that takes the most for me is to try. Because we do take a lot of footage, is trying to combine them to 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah. So
sometimes it's like
some of our videos have been really long, and I'm just conscious. We've noticed that actually with some of our audience do say to us they prefer the slightly longer ones, sort of 10 to 20 minutes ones.
Yeah.
But some really don't like that. If they see, and I've noticed that. Well, our nephew says that to us. He says if he sees anything 3 minutes plus, he's just not going to watch it. Yeah. It's just too long.
It's too long.
One of my vlogs you'll see next week, the shop review will be saying something as an insight to what's to come. Are you going to be doing
Mark's more good at the riddles than I am?
Yeah, I was going to say that's going to be my question. Are you going to be doing sort of like riddle type ones as well? Because I quite enjoyed those. Those quite fascinated me, your riddles.
Because I was telling you he had a premiere at 5, but I wasn't able to watch it.
No, you did say actually. I think I said right at the beginning. Yeah. I'm like literally just before. The trouble is these days I finish work so late. I'm rushing to get it finished so we can do the lives.
And I was loading cupcakes into the cases just before we came on, and I just thought, oh my God, let me just
bung them in the oven. Then we were up here
bung them in the oven. Then I came upstairs, quickly logged on. I only did a title. I didn't do any description or anything.
No, we didn't have time. Yeah.
And I just didn't have the time. So and then while I had to get up and go downstairs, but now I've done what have I done? I've done about 48 cupcakes at least, so that's good. And maybe I'll do another. I'll do another 24, maybe. If I'm in the mood,
If you're feeling it.
If I'm feeling it, I'll do another 48. If I'm feeling it, it just depends.
So what I was telling the guys is I did a little bit of research on new donut places.
Oh, right.
And I found this place, which is the London Bakery, it's called. And exactly. So this is the new one they're doing. As I pointed this out earlier as well. So they're doing this sort of stacky donut, as you can see there, with all the goo in it. It's called the London Bakery.
The thing is...
Hang on, before you go on. But they're doing these giant ones. So just to give you an example how big it is, that's it there. That's the giant one. I thought we're going to have to try and get some people help to sample it. It's 10 inches, £55. But...
What's this place called?
The London Bakery.
I'm sure I watched a YouTube where somebody went to this place because it was a giant donut.
The London Bakery was in South Bank when we went to get the duck burger.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, so I filmed it as part of the thing, London Bakery.
The thing is, sometimes I feel they look good, but they don't taste as good.
Well, we will let you know. But we will try.
See.
But we do want to try some of their regular donuts anyway before we get the big one.
I've just realised, right? So I've done these cupcakes, and I've done 2 chocolate ones, one chocolate cherry and one chocolate apricot. And I'm just thinking, I better top one first because I don't want them to get mixed up, and then I don't know which one's the cherry and which one's the.
Can you remember which is which?
Yeah. Because the chocolate cherry is the one in the living room,
right?
And then the chocolate apricot is the one that is sitting on the
on
the hob at the moment.
They're all over the house at the moment.
But I'll have to top them. I'll have to top them before tomorrow because what if I get mixed up and then I put the apricot ganache topping on top of the cherry and then the chocolate cherry on top of the apricot?
Well, actually, that'd be all right.
That'd be crazy.
You could do it like an Alice in Wonderland thing. You don't know where it begins and where it ends.
No.
Richard said, bus vlogs, keep a watch, places to come next to visit. He also said, I need to go to the Island of Wight again, place called God's Hill. And you'll find out why it's got its name when I go. I'll let you figure out why God's Hill has this name. Now, I'm going to guess it's a religious thing. I'm going to guess 2 things. Either it's a religious place or it's so tall they call it God's Hill because you're closer to God. That's what I'm going to guess. I might be wrong.
But I think the second one, I think what you just said is so tall. You have to climb it and you're closer to God.
But we'll see. No, again, Richard, we're going to definitely look forward to that as well. So as I was saying at the beginning of you were downstairs. So Kelly and I, when we went to Las Vegas, we went to a place called Italy, which we'd only discovered in the United States. And we went to the MGM, not the MGM Grand, but what was the other one called? I've forgotten the one we were at.
Oh, that was MGM Park MGM.
Park MGM, that was it. I couldn't remember the name of it.
Park MGM.
So Kenny and I stayed at Park MGM.
Which was the old Monte Carlo.
Nope, lol, but religious, yes. So it's a religious aspect. Is there a church on that hill? Anyway, yeah, so we went to Park MGM in Las Vegas. It used to be the old Monte Carlo, replaced with this one. Anyway, cut long story short, what happened was at the Park MGM, they had a little place called Italy, which does sort of like Italian food, obviously Italy. So rather than Italy, it's eat, E-A-T-L-Y. But the food there is fantastic. Now, we didn't realize they've opened one up in London some time ago. Kelly did do a review on it, but we want to go back there to sample more of the cakes.
I think they opened it during the pandemic. I think they opened it in 2020, I think.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they opened it up in 2020. Perhaps the beginning of 2021, maybe, something like that. It's very recent. It's very recent, yeah.
So there you go. So we will be trying that at some point, hopefully either the weekend or early next week. And we will do that we will show you that. So we do really want to show you that one there.
And they do amazing cakes. Their cakes look amazing.
Richard
Hey,
Harris,
Richard.
how are you?
Hope you're well.
Richard said, I'm going to go now. My tummy says cook food now. All right. Richard Adventures, lovely to see you again. Look at that. One Richard comes in, one Richard goes.
There you go.
It's like a chain. Lovely to see you again. Good luck with your videos. We'll look forward to doing your vlogs, seeing your vlogs when you can.
I'll watch the one that you premiered today later.
So, Richard, how are you?
What are you up to?
Thunder said, random question, but once you two love Friends, who is your favourite character in it? Thunder, can I show you something? I want to show them the purchase we did of Friends. Oh, brilliant.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but yes, go.
Yes.
Go and I don't know which one.
I've shown it before, but I'm going to show it again.
I am a big fan of Friends, and it kept me going as well during lockdown when I had COVID and stuff. And I had gone to do the Friends Experience, Friends Fest, and so many people, because it was, I just went to Friends Fest, and so many people checked out my video for Friends Fest, like 10,000 people over lockdown. I was just like, oh my god, I had like 10,000 people, 10,000 views. And I was so shocked. But I think Friends was helping a lot of people during the pandemic. But my favorite character, wow. So when I used to watch it, my favorite character was Chandler, because that was how my jokes were. They were very sarcastic. So when I used to watch it, it was Chandler. And then, we haven't even tried those. And then after that, I really like Phoebe and Joey. I feel like I liked the comedic ones rather than the straight ones. So for me, Chandler, Joey, and Phoebe, I feel that they are hilarious.
So I'm going to show you this. So Kelly and I brought this. Now you can get these from Amazon, but Friends do. We thought these are...
who were your favourite characters, by the way? Just wanted to get that out. Go on.
So before you do, Friends now do their own little biscuits. So you can get them for each character. So you've got, as you can see there, they're almost like what they call the pop.
Oh, Funko Pops.
Funko Pops. They're like Funko Pops. But these have got biscuits in them. So you've got Rachel's red velvet cookies. You've got Phoebe's lemon and white chocolate chips. I'll see if I can get them all in one row. You've got Joey's, what they called?
Oh, we're about to run out of battery. Let me grab
I thought you had this all plugged in while I was doing my demonstration.
Sorry, I didn't have it all plugged in. I didn't.
Right. Just look at that, just as I was doing the demonstration.
Here we go. It's right here. And boom. Because you know what? I was in a rush.
Okay. Go on, sit down.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Okay, so then we've got the Joey's orange cookies. If you can hold those. Monica's chocolate chip. You've got Ross's shortcake cookies. And last but not least, in the collection, we've got Chandler's salted caramel cookies. So there you are. You can get these on Amazon. They do sell them as well in certain shops. You can get them. But these are authentic Friends cookies you can buy. Yeah. I think they cost about £25 for all of them. But again, we showed them before. Make a really good Christmas present if anybody is into Friends.
Yeah, if they're into Friends. But I was very, very into Friends, and I think you probably have watched every episode being with me, really.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm not into Friends at all, but being with Kelly as well, because she watched them all the time, I ended up watching every single episode. So when they come on now, I can pretty much quote them.
Yeah. I've been to Friends Fest 2 or 3 times. I think you've got one round the wrong way. That's why.
That's right. Okay.
You need to turn them. Yeah. Hold on. No.
Oh, I'll let her do that. Yeah. So we've been to Friends Fest a few times. If you check out our videos, you'll see that what they're like as well. So we went there last year. We haven't gone this year actually. They did do a Christmas special.
Yeah, they do Christmas one.
But we didn't go to that one, did we? We didn't go to the Christmas one. There we are.
Look. Just let me do it because you're putting it in the wrong way.
Okay, but yeah, so if you do want that, we've been meaning to do this for such a long time. We just haven't got around to doing it. But probably because I've forgotten they were there. But we will do. They come around in a nice little box. We will do a video on those in a taste test.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll keep you posted on that. That'll be quite a nice little video to do.
I think it will.
But yeah, that's what we did. So who is your favourite characters from Friends? Richard, we were just talking about Italy. So they do have them all over the United States. We did see them in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they have them in Chicago. But let me get my little tablet. But I don't know if you've ever been there or ever eaten there.
Yeah, we ate at the one in Vegas. I used to buy such cute things. Do you know what? The house is full of clutter because of all
Oh,
the
yeah,
cute
yeah,
things that we
yeah,
buy, and it's just like, oh my god! But I really, really want that. Yeah, then we've got no space. Hence, I'm trying to find space because at the moment I'm baking cupcakes, and then I'm trying to find space to put all these cupcakes out. But luckily I've got some boxes, so I once I've topped them, I can box them up, and then that's that, and I can just keep them in the fridge.
There is an Eataly in Chicago.
Oh,
There is an Eataly in Chicago, and it's 43 East Ohio Street, Chicago, Illinois. I don't know whereabouts, if that's close to you. But I was going to say as well, we would recommend it. It's a really, really nice place to.
We ate pizza at the one in Vegas. So as Mark said, it was in the hotel that we were staying. We stayed at Park MGM, which was a new hotel that had opened up in place of Monte Carlo. Now I preferred I didn't like.
Sorry, don't stop you there. It's really close to the Magnificent Mile. You were talking about the Magnificent Mile,
Right? Yeah, it's very close to there.
It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 streets away.
I think they call that blocks, isn't it? Seven blocks away. So with the I forgot what I was saying now. Oh yeah, Park MGM. Yeah. So when it was Monte Carlo, I really liked the food court that they had then. They had Starbucks and all of this, that, and the other. Anyway, they refreshed it and they did Park MGM, so they got more high-end stores there. But I feel like it wasn't. It's nice. I love it, and I love the smell of it, and it's very green. The rooms are so much better. But it's just a shame that they don't have like little eateries there and things like that. So we normally walked through what does it connect to, Bellagio?
Yes, it does, yeah.
So we would walk through and then end up in Bellagio. And then before that, when you used to go on that walk, they had loads of shops on the way. So when it was Monte Carlo, you had all these stores and shops and stuff like that, and all of them are gone. And I was just like, but they do so when you walk now, but they have amazing views. They have these massive windows, especially when you approach Bellagio and when you go through to Caesar's Palace, because you see the swimming pool and everything looks amazing. So good.
Richard said, by the way, the friend, you said Chicago Air and Water Show this weekend, busy along the lakeshore this weekend.
Wow.
Are you going to go? An actual fact, it's not too far from there. It's near.
The French show sucked big time. Listen, right?
You're going to
I will tell you.
There's going to be a fight.
It was good. It was so funny. It was so funny. I know it's not. The thing is, they did.
It was never my cup of tea.
The one that they did after, the one that they sort of claimed was a Friends, which was How I Met Your Mother. That show was rubbish. That was rubbish. But I've got to say, I loved Chandler, Phoebe, and Joey. I feel they were very good actors in their part, and you did believe that, you know, what's his name, Matt LeBlanc was stupid. But what's his name? I was about to say Tyler Perry, not Tyler Perry. Matthew Perry is close to Chandler. He's quite sarcastic in real life.
Richard said, "Lol, Kelly, rubbish." Love saying that. Let me tell you something, actually, Richard. So when Kelly and I went to Las Vegas, we got we wanted to go to one of the buffets, which is at the Rio. So we got a taxi from where we were to the Rio. Anyway, our driver was hilarious because he said, "Are you from England?" We said, "Yeah." He goes, "Right, let's play a game. Tell me if something is brilliant or if it's rubbish." Mm-hmm. So basically, he's listing a few things, obviously, because that's our sayings. We are saying if it's good, it's brilliant. But when we went to, do you remember when we went to Florida and they were talking about different rides? And one guy, when we went to the Shrek ride, the guy said, "Does anybody we're voted the worst ride?"
Yeah.
He said, one thing, we're not a ride, and secondly, has anybody been on the Fast and Furious ride? And I shouted out, "Yeah, it's rubbish." And all these people was laughing at them because obviously in the States you don't use the word rubbish.
Yeah, is it trash? Is that the word? I think they use trash.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, no, but I mean for rubbish. I mean,
Yeah, trash. It's
yeah,
got all garbage. Wouldn't
yeah,
you?
yeah,
You'd say it's
garbage. Yeah, garbage is the other one. Yeah, garbage. And I just remember, uh, uh, oh, what is it? He says, "Oh, Monica got me garbage. I wonder what could be better than garbage." And then she goes, "I don't know. Why don't you Why don't you try my ass?" So he bought. Anyway,
You'd
I
have
won't
to
go.
watch
Yeah,
it.
you'd have to watch it. It's so funny. But yeah, garbage and trash is the only two words that I know. But we was, oh my god, that's so rubbish.
Yeah, we go rubbish.
That's just rubbish.
Or you would say if somebody's talking something you don't believe, you go, "Oh, that's utter rubbish." What rubbish?
Or I would just say, "Oh, you're just chatting shit." That is what I would say.
Yeah, but we wouldn't swear on this.
No, well, yeah. So forgive that part.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what we would say. But I do like the saying. I find it funny. You find it funny.
Yeah, the word rubbish, because we don't really think of it. I suppose we were talking about, who were we talking about pants to?
Oh yeah, I think it was Richard.
Was it you, Richard, where we were talking about pants?
When you said pants, you see, because in England, when you say pants, you mean underpants. So if someone said, "I just wandered out in my pants," an English person would think you just wandered around in your briefs. That was it. You would have just gone out in that way.
Or if you wanted to say something was rubbish or trash or garbage, you go, "Oh, that's just pants."
Yeah.
You would use pants because it's your underwear. Oh, that's pants.
But obviously, when you guys say pants, we would say trousers.
Yeah.
We wouldn't say pants. So just if you were saying you're talking about a suit, you say, "Have you got the jacket and the pants?" We say, "Have you got the jacket and the trousers?"
Yeah.
So that's what we would say. So there's the differences.
But it was funny because it's funny with the mix-ups a little bit, because when I went I was in the States, and I think this must have been my first or second time there, and they said, "Oh, do you want would you like chips with that, or did you want chips with that, or something like this?" And I was like, "Oh yes, please." And they put a packet of crisps on my ring, and I was just thinking, "No, I wanted chips. I wanted chips."
Fries. So Kelly wanted fries.
But also, I suppose, what do you call your thicker chips then? Because we have fries and chips. So fries would be the thin ones, because we would adopt the American term fries. So when you're getting McDonald's fries or KFC fries or whatever. But when we have chip shop chips, which is when you have fish and chips, we would call them chips.
Steak fries.
Oh, really? Is that what you call them?
That's really interesting. You call them steak fries. Can I have steak fries?
Oh, okay.
The other thing I didn't realise as well, correct me if I'm wrong, but this always got me as well. So in England, if you ask for, or Britain, if you ask for cider, it will be alcoholic. So it will be cider. But I know in the States, cider is, correct me if I'm wrong, is apple juice. But if you want alcoholic, you ask for hard cider. But in England, in Britain, if you say cider, you just mean hard ciders. You just mean alcohol. So if you said, "Can I have some cider?" they will give you alcohol.
Well, they'll ask you, what cider do you want?
Yeah.
So if you said cider, they'd ask you, is it Recorderlig or
yeah. That's a
cider,
yeah. But if you ask for a glass of cider, they will give you alcohol.
Yeah.
Cider equals hard cider. That's it. So
no, cider. Oh, right, cider.
That's what he's saying. So if you wanted alcoholic cider, you would ask for hard cider.
Right.
But in England, every cider is hard cider. You would have, if you wanted your version of cider, you'd ask for apple juice.
So if I went to, are all pubs then known as British pubs in the States, or do you have American pubs?
No, it'd be.
So there would be British
pubs.
It's
not just British; it's Irish as well.
Or Irish pubs. So. But what I'm saying is if I walked into an American pub or an American version, if I walked into an American version of a pub,
a bar
or a bar, and then I said, "Oh, can I have cider?" Would they just give me apple juice then? So if I walked into a bar and I said, "Oh, can I have a cider?" would they give me apple juice? Is the question. Would it be like the chip situation?
Richard said yes, Southwest cider. So that's what I'm from, Southwest. That's where originally I'm from. So Southwest cider is good.
Right.
That's where traditionally you would get it from. So bitter would obviously traditionally be up north, but you can get it obviously all over.
I have no clue as to what is, because obviously I'm not.
Well, West Country is cider. West Country is cider. West Country is renowned for its cider.
Well, your dad likes a cider, and so does your brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we have American pub and grill versus bar and grill places.
Okay, so if I walked in and I said, "Oh, could I have a cider?" Would they give me apple juice? Is the question. Or would they give me hard cider?
Or would they just say to you, "Do you want cider or hard
Yeah,
cider?"
or would they clarify, would you like hard cider or apple juice?
Because the funny thing is, I remember going to Italy and I just completely forgot, and I ordered a latte, and they just gave me milk. No, that's what they
Oh,
did.
yeah, because that
Latte
is a milk.
means
Yeah,
milk, but
yeah.
obviously in this country, when you say latte, in
coffee, yeah.
in Italy, you have to ask for cafe latte. So when I say, "Can I just have a latte?" Latte means just milk.
Yeah.
So of course, but in this country, when we say latte, they will give you a cafe latte.
Yeah, but also in Europe they call it Coca-Cola Light. They don't call it
Yeah,
Diet
yeah.
Coke and things like that. So it is a tricky. Yeah, it's a tricky one. So when you ask for steak, because if I ask for steak fries, I would assume it would be steak but sliced
No.
thinly.
That's like when you. It's like when you ask for a beefsteak tomato. There's no beefsteak in it. It's just the size of the.
Well,
tomato.
no, they just call them beef tomatoes. They don't call them beefsteak tomatoes.
Yeah. No, they do. It's beefsteak tomato. Richard will correct.
But also, when I go to, you say that, but when I've gone to other places and they say, if you went to a place in England and you say steak fries, they would give you steaks in the shape of fries. They would cut them thinly.
Really?
Yeah, steak fries.
Never heard of that.
In England, yes. Yeah.
Richard,
you
help!
you don't eat steak, so
No,
you
that's
wouldn't know. Because that's why I was confused when you said steak fries. I was like, huh? But they.
There you go. There you go. So Richard said in a bar they'd know you would be asking for hard cider, which
Ah,
makes sense.
okay.
Why would you go to a bar and ask for apple juice?
Yeah, what if you
No,
don't
I
drink?
wasn't dissing you.
No,
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. But what if you didn't drink?
Yeah, you'd say, "Can I have some apple juice?"
Yeah, I would ask for apple juice because it wouldn't occur to me to ask for cider if I wanted apple juice. Because I would clarify that here as well. I would want apple juice, so it would stand to reason if I went to the States and I walked into a bar, I would want apple juice if that's what I wanted. I don't really drink cider anyway. I do like Koppelberg though. I'm not sure about is it old? I can't remember what it's called.
I was going to say, is hard cider popular in America? Because I've got to say, I didn't see anybody drinking any when we went.
I watch a YouTube guy, and he's always drinking cider. But I think it depends on the IP. Do you call it IPA? I'm not I'm not up on cider. I assume your brother and your dad would know a bit more. I don't know if you would know a bit more.
I don't know.
But I think the IPA dictates the hops.
I don't know.
And if it tastes hoppy or more alcoholic or something like that. But there's a guy that I watch, and whenever he's going around the parks, he always gets a cider.
Okay.
He gets a what you call it light as well, a Bud Light. He likes a Bud Light.
Yeah.
And drinks a load of ciders.
Like I said, when we've gone to the States, I've always seen that beer, especially bottled beer, is really popular.
Yeah, I think when we next decide to go to Florida, I think I would try some of their ciders.
But we will We will try. We'll know to ask for steak chips. You would ask for their non-alcoholic section at the bar. Right. If you were sitting down to dine, they would probably ask you what kind. Thank you, Richard. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So, go on. I was going to say, if you wanted then chips, you now know to order steak fries.
So if I wanted chips, so the thicker cut chips. I don't know how you
British
call it.
British chips.
The British version of chips. If I wanted the British version of chips, which is the thicker ones, I would ask for steak fries. Is that right?
But thank you, Richard. This is really useful information actually for when we go.
Yeah, because I remember, like I said, going and I was so disappointed when a bag of crisps turned up. I was like, oh my god!
There you go. Not all places offer steak fries.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
Yeah, because fries are popular there. So the fries being the thinner ones, they're very popular there. I've never gone to a place prior to fish and chips now being popular in the States. I've never been to a place that does steak fries.
Well, funny enough, actually, because in the UK, that's your specialisation. So if they say a side of fries, you will get the fries, the thin, thick cut one. But if they say chips, they're meaning the more chunky ones.
They mean the steak fries is what they mean.
Usually a place has their own style of fries.
Yes, yeah. I get excited if I see curly fries on the menu. I love curly fries. Or in Shake Shack they do the crinkle cut fries.
Well, do you know what
really like the crinkle cut
You know
fries.
what we get a lot now here in the UK? So they do different styles of fries. So we get now sweet potato fry, courgette fry, which I think
Yeah.
you call zucchini. You call it zucchini.
Yeah.
So zucchini fries. And
Zucchini fritti is what
they
call it.
also do mozzarella fries. now.
Yeah.
So it'll actually be mozzarella that's coated in breadcrumb and deep fat fried.
Yeah.
So you get mozzarella fries.
Yeah.
So we're getting more of those now. I don't know if you get like McD's, only one selection of on the fries. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think fries are. I mean, don't get me wrong. Fries are very popular here in the UK. They've always been popular, to be fair. But I don't like the one thing. Well, it was popular for a time. You do see it on the menu still, but not so much. Triple cooked fries. I don't know who came up with that idea of triple cooked fries, but they're not nice.
I thought it was Heston.
I don't know, but they're not nice.
I'm sure it's Heston Blumenthal. So the idea is, I think you triple cook them. I'm sure. I mean, Rich is a connoisseur on food, so he would know. But I think you fry them and then you let them. Oh, but you half cook them. Then you let them cool, and then you put them in the fridge. And then what that does is when the starch hardens, and then you take them out and you deep fat fry them again. And then what that does is that causes that hardened thing then to crunch, and that's what gives it the crunch. And then you put them in the oven. So that's a triple cook.
I don't know about that because you only mentioned fried and baked. I think
you're cooking it 3 times.
You're double frying it.
So you fry, take out, cool, put them in the fridge, take them out, fry again. That's the second time. Then you put them in the oven.
Who's got time for that? That's just a whole.
Oh, Miss Monroe correct, says Richard. There you go. Thank you, Richard. Miss Monroe said, "Have you tried triple cooked chips from Beefy for Restaurants?" Oh, they're the best.
Really?
Oh, we've not been to Beefy.
I've not been to Beefy.
And Richard was talking about Beefeater, funnily enough. I've not been for such a long time.
I've only been once. There used to be one not too far from here. I only went one time, and I don't even remember eating it. I went with my mum and her best friend.
There you go. Richard said I did like the Beefeater fries. Oh my god! Wow. So thank you. We must try Beefeater because we've not done it for. I mean, I haven't been to a Beefeater in decades. Such a long time. Is there one?
Well, you
us?
And your family used to go Little Chef, didn't you?
Yeah.
I always wanted to go to the Little Chef.
You're not missing much.
Because I always wanted to try that. Yeah, but the picture was so back in the 80s. If you're ever driving along the motorway, which is the freeway, the British version of the freeway, or Autobahn if you're from Germany, they used to be these little pit stops, and the pit stops would be Little Chef, and they always pictured this. They were one of the ones that you still used to do the dessert trolley. They don't do the dessert trolley. I would definitely love to go somewhere that does a dessert trolley.
Oh, that's a real 80s
That's
thing.
a real 80s thing, yeah. A dessert trolley where they wheel out the trolley and you get to pick your desserts. Amazing. But they have a dessert trolley in Fortnum's, but you go up to it and choose your cake. They don't wheel it to you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So this Little Chef, there'd be a little thing, and I remember the adverts, and there would be these pancakes with black cherries and cream, and I used to think, I really want to go to that.
I had that. Do you know what? That was the nicest thing they did.
Yeah.
Miss Monroe said, "Oh, they're unlimited, the fries." Oh wow, we must go there. I've just had a look here. There's one in Croydon, one in London. It just says I don't know where that is. Swanley, Dartford, Epsom. I don't think that's a Beefeater, that one.
Mm.
And there's one in Twickenham, one in Romford, one in Harrow, one in Hayes, Chessington, one in Sevenoaks, Red Hill, Gravesend. I don't think that is one. Tunbridge, Hayes, Uxbridge, Ruislip. Right,
so there's quite a few about still.
They're around.
I thought they were dead.
Oh, Richard said, I ate egg, sausage and chips at the Little Chef once. What did you think? This must have been a while ago, because I think they've gone bust, the Little Chef.
Yeah, they have.
I think they've now gone bust.
They went into administration a good few years ago now.
Yeah.
I would say more than 10 years ago.
I did see they did a show where they actually hired Heston Blumenthal to come in and try and improve the recipe. But the problem was, and this is the problem. So basically,
I vaguely remember.
Yeah, it was years ago, Richard. So what happened was, this is the thing that Heston had done. So what he did, he had to go to several major change and try and improve the food. Now, the problem is Heston Blumenthal, as you probably guys know, his restaurant is phenomenally expensive to eat in. You're looking at £250 to £300 per person. So that's dollars-wise, you're looking at $320 to $330 to eat in his restaurant per person. So, of course, when he did the Little Chef, he was doing things like steak and pork pie. And of course, the guy they were saying to him, Heston, this is delicious, but we're going to have to charge like £20 a head. No one's going to buy that in the Little Chef. So he had to massively cut back on what he was doing. So
I don't rate Heston.
Well, he either had two options. He said, I have to give a very small portion, which people, they want value for money.
Yeah.
He said, otherwise I'm going to have to cut back on the quality of the ingredients. So I'll do a cheaper port. But he got it down to £12. So in the end, they went with it. But again, it didn't rescue the place.
Yeah, I feel like the thing about the Little Chef is it's one of those types of things that it's more about pulling off and having something that you know. Not so much comfort food, but sort of bordering on that type of thing. And so when you're coming off, you ain't gonna want fancy pork pie or whatever it is. It's just too fancy. It's too fancy. Unless you're going to a restaurant that is a fancy restaurant, when you go to a Little Chef, you're not thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to go and pay £12 for a fancy pie or whatever it is.
No, exactly. But thank you, both of you, I was going to say, for that thing on Beef Eater. We will give it a try.
Yeah.
Now, we did do a Harvester review, but we never uploaded it purely for two reasons. One, it was quite old by the time we got around to editing it. And two, the food was not great. And we sat there and we thought, we normally do, we want to be honest with our reviews. But I think there was I think it was a time lag was the main reason why we haven't done it.
It's not that we didn't end it.
No, we didn't.
We didn't give our review. So we went into the Harvester and we tried all the stuff. It was pants, by the way. In my opinion.
Yeah.
That's just in my opinion, it was pants.
We didn't rate the food.
And we didn't, when we came out, we didn't do a final thoughts. That's why that's why we didn't end up uploading it.
So, Richard, I just checked on Google. Beef Eater are offering Sunday lunch for $11.99 per person. That's really good. By the way, I like their T-bone with mushroom and fries. There you are. That would be for you.
I don't like things with bones in them. No. I don't mind eating like chicken wings or chicken, but I'm not one for. Do you know what? The problem is this: when you go to certain places and you have something with a bone in it, so whether that be a steak or whether, it's never going to, unless you're going to somewhere like Gaucho's, of which I've never been, by the way, it's always going to be shards of bone or bits of bone that have fallen off somewhere and you're biting it. No, it's not for me. And I don't like that. So unless it's like a top notch, and I've never been to Gaucho's, I'm told it's very expensive. And I would like to go there one day. It's not your sort of thing because it's a meat restaurant. Although I think they do fish. But it won't be the size that you would want for the price that you're going to pay. But you get to choose your cuts of steak. I know it's good steak and all of that type of stuff. And I know a few people that have been, they've really rated it. They've really enjoyed it. So I would definitely like to try there one day. Oh,
wow. Richard said this Sunday lunch comes with unlimited roast potatoes and Yorkshire pudding. Although I wouldn't have the meat, but that is really good. So, guys, I was going to ask you, Miss Monroe, Richard, and everybody else, what would you say is your favourite value for money restaurant? What's the place? So we're talking value for money, the one you would recommend. If somebody said to you, guys, can you do me a favour? I want to go somewhere that's got really nice food that is really good and really reasonable. So where would you recommend to them? So it can be in England, can be in the United States, can be both. Actually, we'll do both. Where would you say?
Yeah.
Oh, you just said, is it UK or US? So if you can do both, only if you've been to both, but what would you be?
I think it has to sort of be a chain.
Miller and Carter, Miss Monroe said, are doing lunchtime menu at the minute for £12. We went to Miller and Carter.
We did. So we've been to Miller and Carter twice.
Yeah.
And the first time I liked it. The second time, I've got to say, and I I'm sorry to Alicia and our nephew, because our nephew really wanted to go to Miller and Carter, and I don't eat steak out. I look, because I cook steak, so unless I was going to somewhere like Gaucho's, which is like a speciality steak place, of which Miller and Carter is, I tried their steak and it was too chewy. It was gristly.
Well,
and it was chewy.
that being said, though, remember we said best value for money. So Miss Monroe's going for that for £12.
For £12, that is excellent. But I would choose off the menu, but I wouldn't choose steak, because I liked all the other stuff. I liked the prawns that I chose.
Yeah.
And I liked I had fries as well, and I liked those. But when the first time that we went, I enjoyed it more at the other one. So we went to one in Bath, and but you didn't really like.
I didn't like either one, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then again, to be fair, I'm vegetarian. It's a steak place. As a guy, one of my friends said that to me. Well, why are you going?
Yeah, but they did do fish, but it was because the fish wasn't your. This is it, because it's not. It has to, for Mark. He'll say, "Oh yeah, no. But he needs it."
No,
portion size.
Let me clarify.
Okay, all right.
So I didn't like it because literally all it is a slab of fish and a dollop of mashed potato. Nothing else.
They do a sauce, which Mark asked for on the side, because he doesn't like sauces.
I didn't like the sauces. No. So basically, that's all I'm getting. So I don't. Yeah. Plain fish and mashed potato, I didn't particularly want. So that's why I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to have to spend another £7-8 on buying sides just to make it a nice proper meal. But that's anyway, we're getting distracted. So back to value for money. So what would be your value for money for both UK and US?
I've got to say Toby Carvery.
I was going to say, so I agree. UK
value for money.
Both of us. No, are you saying the roast dinner, or are you doing the breakfast?
Well, either or is value for money.
I would say
both of them are value for money.
So our recommendation, if you are in the UK, do try Toby Carvery if you like that thing. But either the breakfast, which is really good value for money, but you get more choice if you do the Toby Carvery lunch.
I was going to ask you this morning, and I totally forgot because you were stuck in a meeting. Because they were doing it on the Is It Too Good to Go app. They were doing it for vegetarian breakfast and a normal breakfast for £2.79 each. And you just go and you pick it up. You had to go there for like 11:15, and I was going to ask you, but you were stuck on a call.
I was on the calls all day.
Today, I didn't end up asking you. And then we had lunch, and you made me a bacon toasted sandwich, and then after that, I started baking.
That's right.
So it was two thing. I mean, I could have a look tonight, and we could go and pick something up tonight.
Richard said KFC buffets in the south. Some are not so good, but when you find a good one, the chicken is awesome. Right,
buffets? KFC?
Do they do a buffet?
Oh, that sounds like that is.
Oh, yes. Miss Monroe said, no, you need to try the Too Good to Go. No,
I know, yeah.
We will do it. But just buy it. Even if I'm in a meeting, just get it.
But you're very funny, and sometimes I can go and get something. I didn't ask for that.
For £3, I don't really mind.
Yeah.
Richard said, "Wow, they do a buffet."
Wow.
Now
I would go to that.
We do not get KFC buffets in the UK. I have never seen one. If anybody's watching has seen a KFC buffet in the UK, please let us know. But
I will be there.
I was going to say that's right up Kelly Street.
I'll be there.
Right, now, come on then. For best value for money in the United States that we've been to. Yeah, Mr. Monroe said, oh my God, KFC buffet. I have never, Mr. Monroe, have you ever heard of that in the UK? I've never had that.
Trust me, I'd be there. The US is a little bit difficult because we've only really been to two places.
I would say mine.
That would be value for money. Now, for me, if we were talking about Vegas, I would say the Wicked Spoon.
That's not value for money. That's £100 for two of us.
It's not £100 for two of us. It's not.
All right, no, I'm talking value for money. But you can't have something that's $50 each. You've got to have something that's cheaper than that.
Okay.
The last one, the KFC buffet. Let me go because you're going to think. So for me, is it Denny's?
Denny's.
So,
I knew you were going to choose that.
So Denny's is one. I thought it's really good value for money for what you got. It wasn't the best one. The other one we went to was a buffet. I can't remember if it's called the Golden Corral.
Oh no, you always think it's the. We've never been to the.
No, it's the other buffet one.
It's so there's two. One is Ponderosa and the other one is Sizzler.
Yeah, Sizzler.
Sizzler.
Sizzler was the one we went to. I thought
Sizzler.
it was $7 for all you can eat. All right, the food wasn't the highest of quality, but it was good, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I would agree with you with regards to, because we went to the Olive Garden.
No, I'm sorry, Richard, if you like the Olive Garden. We didn't like it at all. IHOP. We didn't go to IHOP. You did.
I've been to IHOP, but it was, I went years ago. It was roughly around 97. So I only went there once. I vaguely remember it, but
which is better, IHOP or Denny's? Would you say?
Oh, it would be IHOP.
Well, I'm just saying for a Richard thing as well. I know you prefer IHOP. I really want to eat IHOP. Do you know what? I kept saying, let's go IHOP. We'll go next time, and then the blimmin' pandemic happened.
Yeah. I feel like the only problem with Denny's that I have, and Denny's is value for money, but I don't enjoy value for money. For me, would be I have to enjoy the food.
Well, I enjoy the food.
Yeah,
so for me, it's a thing. Yeah,
because you get like a little skillet and stuff like that. Yeah. But to me, it's not an all you can eat. It's not large portions. So for me, and I don't really like the quality, but I think value for money. So it's got to be. I haven't been in years, right? In years, but I have to say Bob Evans.
I've never been to Bob Evans.
Love, and it's like that good, wholesome.
No, I've never been.
Sort of. The only one that I could describe it a little bit like, and we've never been to it, but do you remember when we were watching the video? And if you go to MG, it's not MGM Studios anymore, it's Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
And they've got that old style 50s cafe.
Yeah.
We've not been to it, but you can get like fried chicken, mashed potatoes. It's like all homely typed cooked food. That is what Bob Evans is like, but on a bigger scale. So, you get pork chops and mashed potatoes, you get a side salad, you get blue cheese dressing. And I'm not a lover of blue cheese, but their blue cheese dressing was really nice. Oh, yeah, Bob Evans. I really enjoyed the wholesome food. It was so good.
Richard said, Benny's and IHOP are great when you've drunk too much and hungover. They have pictures on the food on the menu. You can just point to what you want. That one. No, do you know what, Ash? Like I say, I know I sound like a real philistine saying, I love that, I like that. Because we haven't eaten in that many places in the States in terms of what we would call value for money places.
Yeah.
So for us, I can only go by the ones that I've tried that I thought were great.
But the thing is, so like when we went to New York, we didn't really find a value for money place.
No, not at all.
And I think you were going through a stage at the time because it was very difficult to find sort of like a lot of vegetarian stuff at that time. And so when I was asking you, like, but what do you fancy to eat? You also can't. You want to look at a menu and you want something to jump out at you. Whereas with me, I'm thinking, do you know what? I fancy chicken today, or I fancy a steak today, or I fancy. But you don't work like that. You want to look at a menu and see what jumps out at you. But yeah, like I could think, do you know what? Today I fancy this.
We have a Denny's that's open 24 hours a day on Saturdays and Sundays. Oh, that would be fantastic. Do you know what? This is what I love about. I must say, you're getting this now in Britain. But what I love about the United States is, so in the UK, a lot of places, it's got slightly better now.
Yeah.
But it used to be breakfast was up to something stupid like 10 a.m. So if you want to get up late, have a lie-in and have breakfast, which is what I like to do. I like to have breakfast round about noon time on a Sunday especially, because I thought my one proper lie-in and day off, that's what I want to do. But most places stop serving it. Now, we are starting to get in the UK places that will do all-day breakfast.
All-day breakfast, yeah.
But there aren't. But when I went to the United States all those years ago, this was novel for me. So what I loved is the fact I could wake up, say, not around noon, but we would get late in the morning. And then I could go, by the time we got washed, dressed, showered, already in downstairs, it would be roughly about noon.
Mark never gets up late on holiday.
No. Anyway, let me finish my story. So, and that's what I like. You could still get breakfast at any time. And I just think that's what I do love about the United States is the fact that you can do that.
You can. I think when we went to Vegas, I think it was the only time when really you were able, because we didn't have So if we have breakfast included in the room, Mark needs to get up early. He's got to have that breakfast. And I think when we went to Vegas, there's not that many hotels you can get breakfast included on the room, and I think that's the only time you would allow yourself, because and the thing about Vegas is it's 24 hours.
Yeah.
So you can go, you don't have to go to sleep at a certain time in order to wake up at a certain time to enjoy the breakfast. And I think that's the first time you were able to sort of fully relax and not be dictated by breakfast and all of that. And we didn't have to worry about going to bed early in order to get up early for the breakfast, that kind of thing.
Richard, I totally agree with you. I love breakfast in the United States. So Richard said we have some great breakfast places. The skillets are great. I love breakfast in the United States. I really love it. Your choice is fantastic.
Yeah.
You've got so much to choose from. The different styles as well is slightly different from the UK. Don't get me wrong, I do like English breakfasts.
Yeah. But you like an omelette.
Yeah, and I love omelettes and stuff like that, because a lot of your places have omelette stations, but you also have skillets as well. I love American pancakes. I love all that. So when you get this pancake stack, you get them in the UK, but they are nowhere near as good. Britain
and value for money is not as good as
no.
the States.
So Britain will do it, but Britain that focuses very much on an English breakfast, which I do like. Don't get me wrong, because I get the vegetarian version of it.
Yeah, you do.
But I do love your breakfast. Yeah, they are really good. I have to say.
The Denny's in Vegas is 24 hours.
Yeah.
And we've been to the one in Vegas. Like Mark will say, "Oh, he wants something different. Let's go to Denny's." And my heart sinks when he says that.
Teddy hates Denny's.
And then we go there. Do you know what it is as well? Because for me, the quality's not that great, and I feel like for me, don't get me wrong, I can eat something and the quality is not that great, but if we go to a hotel and the breakfast is not that great, I can only have it for a certain amount of days before I get fed up. So when we go to Lanzarote, in the hotel that we regularly stay at, the breakfast is not that great. The quality is not that great.
I beg to differ, but anyway.
Well, yeah, but we're talking different taste buds here. So like Mark could eat every day there. He'd be fine. He could eat breakfast and he could eat dinner there. And it gets to the third or fourth day, and by this point, I'm only eating toast with cream cheese on it because I'm so bored with eating there. But if there's omelette and toast, Mark is fine. He doesn't need anything else. Omelette and toast, and he can have that every day. He'll be fine. But I need to change every day. So even at home, I never eat the same thing every day. No, she doesn't. No. I never eat the same thing every day because I don't want it to get to a point where I'm bored of having the same thing. Because once I'm bored of it, it will be many years, if I ever eat that again. Because I could eat every day to the point where I'm sick of it, and then that's it. I won't eat it.
Richard said we get the English style breakfast in some of the Irish pubs here, black pudding too. Do you like it? Do you like English? There is English and Irish breakfast are very similar. The only difference is I think the sausages are slightly different and the bacon's slightly different, but they're very
they're very similar. The only thing that I don't like about American breakfast is the bacon.
Yeah, you don't like the bacon. I don't like the bacon.
Anyway, it's too crunchy for me. I'm not used to eating the crunchy bacon.
So our bacon's what you would call Canadian
bacon. Yeah. And we've had this discussion before. Yeah. I love back bacon. And I don't have it every day. But I pretty much will have some type of bacon every weekend. And if I'm going somewhere that does an all-day breakfast and I fancy an all-day breakfast, then obviously I'll have it included, obviously, in the all-day breakfast.
Oh, trying to go veggie now, he says, but still love it. Black pudding mixed with the English-style baked beans. There you go. Good you going veggie, though. I hope you did try that when you did your lasagna, you put the carrots and stuff in there. Like I remember you saying, I hope it worked for you.
Yeah. It's difficult. I think, especially if you like something, because I remember a friend of mine, she was trying to go veggie, but there were two things that she was finding difficult to give up: bacon, so to have a bacon toasted sandwich, and steak. She didn't eat steak all the time. She's not really a steak person, And she didn't eat bacon all the time. She wasn't a bacon person, but there were times when she would want to have like a bacon toasted sandwich or a steak.
There you go. Anyway, guys, we've been going for nearly 2 hours now, so we will leave it there. That's it for Mark and Kelly's trips, tips, and things for this week. But we will be back hopefully. Now, we did say at the beginning of the live, Tuesday, we've got something on. So unfortunately, we won't be able to make Tuesday, but we are going to try and get do the Friday one. We are going out in the day, but we will be back hopefully in time for it.
Yeah.
So look out for next Friday. Yeah, take care too. Love it. Listen, thank you so much to everybody, Joy. We really did enjoy the live today, and as always, we love chatting to you.
Yeah.
You have a lovely weekend too, everybody. Thank you so much, Mr. Rowe. Thank you so much, Richard. Everybody else that's been on the live today. Have a fantastic weekend. Please do look after yourselves. Take care, and remember, you're never too old to have fun. We will be back next week. Hopefully, until then, we'll see you another time. Take care for now. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye for now. I'm going to go and top me cupcakes. Bye for now.